Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kaiserreich. We're playing as the Philippines. Amazing. We've decided to back the American Constitutional Coalition. You know, I don't necessarily think that it's going to matter, but, you know. I might send volunteers here.
Ready to move.
Grab a Philippines division, 51st. I'll send a volunteer division. Send, quote, air volunteers. Oh, we're now getting to the point, by the way, where we can start doing things like making support equipment and making artillery, because I might want to start using support equipment and artillery. Let's call this infantry. We probably want an engineering company. And probably want support artillery. And then maybe some more infantry. A little bit more beef. A little bit more meat on them bones. Just figured, why not? I think that this is fairly doomed. Japanese offer military aid. Philippine Army was officially established in December 1935, built out of veterans from the Philippine Constabulary and the Philippine Scouts with American help. These plans never fully materialized before the Second American Civil War thrust the Philippines into unknown waters, many wondering if the new republic is up to the task of arming and training the force necessary to defend its islands from foreign invasion. The Japanese offered to step as patron for the fledgling force, promising the delivery of arms. Experienced military advisors need to train an entire division along Japanese lines. The division be the model for further development of the Philippine military, greatly increasing their influence in the Army's development. Given the circumstances, it's unlikely you can ask for a better deal. Well, we must politely decline. I've decided that we are attempting to maintain our independence. We're going to try to research the Tier 2 weapons.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. I'm going to do that. Guangzhou, national government declared war on the national protection lines. Man, things are popping. Things are popping off. Let's see, where should we go? Oh, nice. Rocky Mountain ceasefire, or Great Plains ceasefire. Civil Wars ravaged America for many months, but today's ceasefire was called after a meeting in Denver between officials of the American Constitutional Coalition and the Workers' Congress of America worked out terms. Pacific forces would withdraw to new boundaries west of the agreed-upon border, while Socialist forces would withdraw eastward. This is not an official peace, however, and many feel that the future reckoning between the two countries, the final showdown in this war for the future destiny of America, is all but inevitable. Even so, this moment of respite for each side to gather their strength, count their dead, and the Americans on both sides are celebrating a bit of peace snatched from the jaws of chaos. We'll see how long it lasts. Syndicalists take over Australasia. Man, this is like Red World. We're really going for it, aren't we? I'm gonna do radio propaganda. Holy guacamole, the Dominion of Canada declared war on the Workers' Congress of America. That's terrible timing, because they just pieced out with the ACC. Alright, well. I just sent over volunteers.
Yes, sir.
Oh boy. The 1939 campaign season begins. It's a presidential election year. In September, voters of the Philippines will be headed to the polls to determine who will be the country's next leader. Already one candidate's thrown his hat into the ring, incumbent President Manuel Quezon. This comes as no surprise, as Quezon specifically sought the passage of a constitutional amendment several years ago to change his single 6-year term to a potentially 2 4-year terms. As leader of the Nationalista Party, the most powerful man in the country, Quezon believes he can still cruise to re-election. In this first past-the-post national election, there can be only one viable challenger if the opposition wants any chance of success. The Democratic Party seems poised to nominate Claro M. Recto if it seems census the field is clear. However, Recto may hang back if it turns out the old revolutionary Emilio Aguinaldo declares his own candidacy, as many of his confidants are indicating. Rumors even have it that sections of the Nationalista Party, dissatisfied with Quezon, are poised to split the party and back Manuel Rojas. Though nothing has come of this yet, the syndicalist Partido Oberto has already declared it will be boycotting the elections, planning large anti-government demonstrations as the date near. Order and expertise will deliver results. Progress and fraternity will lift up the masses. As one nation, we will protect our independence. I like how this number is not increasing. I don't know if that's a bug. Oh boy. Expertise of the scouts. Standardize our rifles. Well, standardize those rifles. That seems important. Anyways. We're probably reaching the point where we really want to start getting people like infantry specialists, or coordination experts, or artillery specialists. Our finest hour? What childish fantasy. Southern Rhodesia has capitulated. Uncertain times. We're winning. This is not necessarily the world's most interesting, way to run this, but the truth is that lessons from the revolution. Oh yeah, I should probably read standardized rifles. The Army's military equipment is an eclectic mix of British and American rifles of various ages of obsolescence for field of force capable of waging guerrilla warfare against an occupier, which should ensure a new standard rifle should be adopted for mass production. Lessons from the Revolution. A lot of military history. The military history of the island centers around taking advantage of our geographic position to make an occupier's job a nightmare. They're able to beat us in conventional battles, but behind every blade of jungle foliage, every isolated island, is people ready to fight and die for the Republic. We want to hold this until we get to a war. Whereas this is just useful. No other expertise of the scouts, no other force in the Philippine military is capable as the scouts in navigating the thick foliage of our jungle islands. Integrating PS regiments to support our divisions will allow us to maneuver faster in the jungles. I'm going to try to build up our civilian production. Ooh, logistical focus is a thing. That seems useful. Static warfare also seems pretty useful. Static warfare. We do bold attack or tenacious defense. I think I'm going to do, or meticulous preparation. Spanish Socialists join the Third International. I'm going to do tenacious defense. I know that's not meta, but... The nationalist military government's been annexed. Dun dun dun. I'll get an artillery guy. Workers' Commonwealth of America arises. Following a hair-wrench of a war, the old hegemony of the American economy is painted red with the colors of revolutionary syndicalism. Having successfully overthrown the federal government in Washington and crushed the counter-revolution launched by Huey Long, the Workers' Congress of America calls for a second constitutional convention in order to lay the groundwork for a new nation. During this lengthy deliberation, numerous factions bickered, debated, and discussed until a consensus was reached. The new America has rejected the growing threat of totalism and tyranny in favor of a socialist republic maintaining the spirit of American freedom. It remains to be seen how stable the new government will be, and if the syndicalists can successfully root out capitalism in their new bastion of liberty. Will it truly be a revolutionary democracy, or mob rule? And right now, they need to, like, not get crushed by the Canadians. The Canuckians. I'm gonna keep pressing this button even though it doesn't do anything. It's kind of dumb that it doesn't do anything. Oh, either way. We need to give this person better division, better reinforce rate. That's probably what we really need. And Vincente Lim, camouflage is good because we're not going to have air. Iraq's capitulated. Uncertain times. I'm interested to see how this all works out because it does not seem. It looks like the Ottomans might be able to defeat all comers. A truly impressive display of martial superiority. We're gonna get more max factories. Expertise of the scouts. Jungle fighter. Foreign invaders have tried and tested our lands before. First the Spanish, and then the Americans. Now with the threat of war ever so present over our beloved islands, we'd expect that we should turn to the jungle to maintain a fierce resistance. For it is in the jungle that we have learned how best to fight and how best to win. Albania has joined the Donau Adriabund.
Attention.
We don't have enough infantry equipment for this. We definitely don't have enough support artillery for that. 1, 2, 3. Anyways. The fall of Wuhan. A serious defeat for Zili. Yeah, that's it for them. The Qing government has been defeated. What happens next? Who could say? The fall of Buenos Aires. The socialist revolution has come to Argentina. Man. Man, that is a red. Let's see. No. It's like a way to deploy. How do you view different map? Ah, that's it. Possible map modes. Ideology. Red. Red world. Very red. Very, very red. Wait, why are the Germans orange? What? Social liberals? What? I didn't even know that was an option. Let's see. The Reds are probably going to lose in India, at least. And they're going to lose in China. But everywhere else, they look like they're in a pretty good spot. Yikers on a bikers. Yikers, indeed, on a bikers. Natal has joined the Entente. Yunnan has been annexed. Ripperoni pepperoni. Subject. I get it from the Nords. Not gonna be a threat to our independence. Australasian Union declared war on New Zealand. The New Zealand crisis. How alarming. Let's see. Where are we going? You go here. You go here.
Ready.
And then you go here. And everyone get beefy. New Zealand's joined the Entente. We should probably facilitate domestic arms production. If we are to build our military, the expectation that superior force will inevitably land on the islands, our military industry should be similarly prepared to spread out in small workshops hidden away in jungles and islands. To reach that goal, we shall plan out the evacuation of gunsmiths to be spread across the country and the creation of isolated workshops. The fall of Cairo. With the fall of Cairo, the future of the Cairo Pact seems grim. Indeed it does. I'm surprised. Cairo Pact has kind of gotten rolled. Interesting. Yeah, the Ottomans have won this one. They've been embargoed by the Socialist Republic of Italy. Okay. Alright, Philippine elections are coming right up. Cool. We're gonna grab coordination expert. We're gonna make better guns. Is yet another victory for the nothing ever happens crowd. We love to see it. We're gonna create the Philippine department. And then we are going to do construction research. We're gonna get a Spirit of the Army. Paratroopers and Marines, Mountaineers. More Army experience gains, probably what we want, actually, right? Yeah. Definitely. How are we at? 1 second. How are we at our divisions limit? Alright, it looks like we could go with 9 more of these. For, to defend all the various, like, defend other, like, locations on the island. Like, probably. Alright, 1939. Election. The winner is. To the victor, go the spoils. Alright, well, we'll get to that when we get to that. President Quezon cruises to re-election. The results are in. Manuel Quezon has secured re-election the president of the Philippine Republic. For months, people wondered whether Quezon's decade-long streak of uninterrupted political wins would finally come to an end. It seems they were foolish to do so. Once again, Quezon has proven himself a political master, effortlessly riding the currents of popular opinion while keeping intact the entrenched political establishment. Today, Quezon once again recited his oath of office from the balcony of the Malancang Palace as crowds cheered below. Ding. Oh yeah, let's go. The Philippines entrenches its neutrality. In the end, the Philippines has managed to fend off foreign attempts to press them into an alliance. Like most things in international relations, this also comes with some downsides. The general public is reluctant to commit to any foreign military ventures, and the Philippines will likely seek to bunker down and attempt to remain neutral amongst the sea of war. Of course, peace virtually always beats war, and our neutrality comes with the added benefit of political flexibility. If the war does come to our shores, or another situation, or the situation rouses the general public to war, may end up yet joining a faction. For now, we keep our options open and hope for the best. So, we can make an alliance with the Japanese, the Germans, or the Entente, which unfortunately we cannot because everything is communist. Everything is syndicalist. Communists seem to not be doing very well. Cindy seem to be doing wonderfully. I should get a theorist. Boop. Look at that. Look at that.
Ready to move.
All right. Okay. So,
Attention.
where do we deploy our forces? Bagulo. Tarlac.
Ready to move.
Batangas.
Ready.
Bacolod.
Ready.
And then the rest of these forces should be deployed to
Ready.
essential strong points across the island.
Yes, sir. Listen up. Ready, sir.
Alright, let's see how that works. Philippine Department. Or Department. Radio Interception Group. Commando Training. Division of Investigation. Alright. Now we can do like big reform stuff now that we have secured power. Alright. To the victor go the spoils. Before this election, observers wondered if Manuel Quezon's unbroken string of victories might finally come to the end. It seems their prognostications were mere wishful thinking. President Quezon has once again proven himself the master of Philippine politics, and his position and legacy are more secure than ever. Not that he intends to rest on his laurels. There's still plenty to do. Laws to pass, patrons to dispense, and speeches to make. Alright, I will see you in the next episode, where we defend our neutrality against anyone who we need to. If that requires an alliance with another faction, then that's the way it goes. See you later. Bye-bye.